Hi, I'm Mark from L&M Small Engine. Today we're working on a pacer pump with a Briggs and Stratton 3.5 engine on it. Checking the code, this motor was made in 1997, so it's a pretty old motor. And on these older Briggs motors, it's getting kind of hard to get parts from, like the gas tank and stuff like that. So hopefully it's not rusted out too bad. But the gas is like 3 or 4 years old. So let's see if we can get this thing running. So hope you enjoy the video. Okay, we'll go ahead and take the air filter assembly off. Them are 5/16 inch bolts here. And the base plate, there's 4 5/16 inch bolts. Okay. Now we're going to take this throttle assembly and choke assembly off. And that looks like a Torx head. There's 2 bolts holding that bracket on. Okay. We'll leave that kill wire hooked up to it. We'll just set this up here. Here's our choke linkage. We'll just take that off so we don't lose it. Okay, there's a bolt down below the tank, a 3/8 inch bolt down there. Then there's two bolts up here. We're going to take the whole tank and carburetor off all at once, because I'm going to put a new diaphragm in the carburetor and a new tank / carb gasket in there, and clean that tank out really good because it's really varnished. Take that bottom bolt out, and these are either 3/8 or a Torx. The top one I can get a Torx in there, but this bottom one right here, we're gonna have to use a 3/8 inch wrench on that one. We'll have to use a wrench on the bottom one there. No way to get a Torx screwdriver in there. I'm gonna leave that top one hooked up till we get this bottom one out. Then we'll get the bottom one out, then we'll. These are good old motors, but it's getting harder and harder to get certain parts for them. And the aftermarket carburetors for these they're no good. Not much room to work in here. There we go. I'm going to unhook this spring. There we go. Hold the tank. And tilt it till we get the linkage out of there, and there we go. I'm gonna go dump the tank out, and we'll go ahead and tear the carb off the tank. Okay, empty the gas out. And this is 1997, but there's the model number before this. It didn't have this long bolt going through the carburetor. There's nothing there. It just had the 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts down here, and it didn't have the one here. But the newer style, that's what this is. This had the one up here, and the newer style took a different diaphragm than the older one. So when you take these apart, make sure you have the right diaphragm for this here, and I'll show you. Screen's nice and clean. And there's your main jet right there. Under here is a diaphragm that pumps gas. Pumps gas from the tank up into here. And there's like a little bowl right in here. It pumps the gas into that, and that's it. Siphons the gas into the engine by suction. And a lot of tarnish on the bottom of that. On the bottom of the tank, there's a lot of tarnish too. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this carburetor up before we tear it apart. I'm gonna scrape this base gasket off here and scrape the base gasket around here. Then we'll take that diaphragm apart and I'll show you the two different kinds. So, be right back. Okay, the inside of the tank cleaned up really nice. So now let's go ahead and take this side cover off. Pry it off here. And watch out, there's a spring and stuff in there. Don't lose that because we need that. But anyways, make sure your main jet here is not plugged up. And if you shoot in this top hole right here, it'll clean out that screen in the bottom. Okay. Now the base gasket we're going to use, Briggs number is a 692241, or Sten's numbers 486-385. We'll go on there like that. And there's two different diaphragms. There's an older version than the new style. So here's the new style. See how that looks? That one goes on there. And that one's from Stens 530-018. And here's for the older style. See the difference? So that one don't line up. So when you take this apart and you need an order diaphragm, make sure you get the right one. So we can go ahead and put this back together again. So put that spring and that protector in there. Get these screws started. Okay, make sure they're nice and snug. And if you're not sure if that main jet is clean all the way, just take a little piece of wire and make sure it goes in there. And on this side over here, like a low idle mixture screw right here. Screw it in so you know how many turns it goes in. So 1/2, 1, 1 1/4. Let's go ahead and screw it all the way out. Make sure the tip is nice and clean. And take your carburetor cleaner and make sure it's nice and clean in there. So we'll screw that back in there just till it's snug. 1/2, 1 1/4. And if we need to fine tune it after we get it running, we will. Get our gasket lined up. Start our screws. Just get them started. Now we get them all started, so we can go ahead and tighten these up. All right. Now we can go ahead and put it back on the motor now. Okay. Now this vent tube right here, that goes in that little boot right there. Then we got to put this gasket back on there. We'll hook up this governor linkage. And put that tube in that vent tube. And we'll get this top one started here. We won't tighten it all the way, so it don't fall off of there. I'll hook up this spring after I get that bottom bolt started. Like keep some pressure on it so we get it threaded in there. Okay, got it started. Screwed in some more. I'm not going to tighten it all the way until we get that very bottom bolt in, then it'll be all lined up. Okay, we got the bottom one in, so now we can go ahead and tighten these up all the way. Okay, now let's put that spring. Spring goes on here. There we go. Now we can put this back on. And this little pin right here goes in that little hole right there. We gotta hook that choke linkage up. There we go. That goes in that hole right there. Bring that around so that pins on there like that. Now we can tighten them two up all the way. So this one here runs your choke, and that's stop, and that's full power. Everything seems to be working good on it. Let's grab our air filter base plate. What we do this, if you shut the choke, that way in case you drop one of these screws, it won't go in there. Okay, I'm not going to put the new air filter in right now because we might have to spray some carburetor cleaner just to prime it. Get that gas pumped up to that bowl on top of the gas tank, but we're definitely going to change that spark plug. And being this thing sat, I think you said it sat for 3 or 4 years. Look it out. Rich that was burning. I'm gonna spray a little bit of WD-40 in the cylinder just to lubricate the rings so the oil in there starts swirling around. And before you start it, make sure the oil is nice and full. Make sure it clicks. Okay, I'll take it off that crate. We'll put some gas in there and I'll put a little bit of water to pump. And once I get it started, I'm not going to run it very long because I don't want to buy the guys a new pump. So, like I said, when the gas tanks and the carburetor are totally empty, it takes a few pulls. Get that gas pumped through there. And I dumped a little bit of water in there, not that much, but just till we get this thing running. I'll probably need a screwdriver to adjust that idler screw too. Once we get it running, I'll put a new air filter in there and they can go on pumping water. Well, there you go. It works again. Now stuff like this definitely don't use ethanol. It just subtracts water and it rots out these tanks, and according to Briggs, it's almost impossible to get them tanks anymore unless some warehouse has them. According to Briggs, they don't have them. There you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you watching. If you like my videos, please press the like button and please subscribe. Anyways, you guys have a good afternoon. Bye.